Hello there. Hope you're doing great. So often, when I've been doing workshops for organizations, one workshop which really stands out, which I think almost everybody enjoys, irrespective of age, hierarchy, function, roles, whatever they play, is the team building workshop. So the question is, do organizations really need to do these team building workshops? And is it worth it? And if yes, how do we go about it and why should we do it? Well, there are so many questions around it, but I'm going to try and summarize to you why organizations need to do team building workshops and how does it help them. Well, first and foremost, in my experience of having done so many team building programs over the years, I have thoroughly enjoyed each and every experience. And every experience is complementary, yet different in its own way. So why should organizations actually invest in doing team building programs? First and foremost, what team building programs do is that they bring people together. So it's an icebreaker. So the most important thing that happens in a team building workshop is that it develops a sense of belongingness. You have people coming together, spending time with each other, playing together, laughing together, and all that makes a difference. And therefore, they also feel a sense of belongingness, not just towards each other, but also towards the organization. And I think that's a fundamental part of team building programs. But beyond that, one of the most intriguing factors, and I'm often fascinated by this, that results as part of a team building program is that team building programs actually help the participants, the learners, develop empathy towards each other. Yes, you heard it right, develop empathy. Now, empathy is often described as the ability to step into someone else's shoes and look at the situation from the other person's perspective. While we're at work, we often fail to understand the challenges the other person is going through. But in a team building workshop, what generally happens is people play a lot of games. There are a lot of experiential activities that are conducted. And these experiential activities make sure that people have to cooperate with each other. People have to coordinate with each other, which often means that you need to talk, you need to discuss, you need to ask questions, you need to provide convincing answers. And of course, then you need to play together as well. And while you're doing all of this, it helps you understand where the other person is coming from. Why is he or she telling me something? What is the rationale behind it? Now, that means your sense of empathy increases, enhances, which then helps you with an opportunity to look at things from a completely fresh perspective. And of course, when you take this perspective back at the workplace, you can use that empathy to cooperate with each other and get things done. So empathy is a huge factor that I have seen people receive and reciprocate during team building workshops. But beyond that, one of the most important reasons why team building workshops work is the fact that they help resolve conflicts. Now, how do they help resolve conflicts? I think it's an extension of empathy. Because I'm able to understand your perspective, I can see where you're coming from, what is your take on this matter. I'm also able to provide you my understanding about the situation. We are therefore able to communicate without any baggages, without any perceptions. Often at the workplace, when we work in silos, people aren't able to identify where is the problem. Why is the other person saying something? And that often triggers conflicts. And these conflicts loom large over a period of time, sometimes to an extent that people stop communicating with each other. In fact, there have been situations where an entire department starts not to communicate with the other department. So we often become islands of excellence who do not interact with each other. Whereas these silos are broken in a team building workshop. The reason being, people have to communicate. There is no other way around it. And there is a common goal that you need to achieve, which means coordination is a natural progression in a team building workshop. And it often results in an atmosphere where people are also able to resolve conflicts. The other reason conflicts get resolved is because sometimes organizations also do the right thing, and I think it's the right thing to do. They also involve the family members of the participants who are part of the team building workshop. And when you have family members, people tend to dine together, they have a cup of coffee or tea together, or they party together, they dance together. And all of that means that I am able to see at the human being at the other end. Often I only look at professionals at the other end, and the other person would also treat me like a fellow professional, which means there is mutual respect. But here it goes beyond mutual respect. It goes to a sense of camaraderie and friendship. And that also helps to not only resolve, but sometimes even dissolve conflicts permanently, which I think is a great thing to happen. But apart from that, one very important reason why team building workshops are popular in corporate masses is because a lot of people have often told me that at the end of a team building workshop, which could last for a day or two or even more, people have experienced that their stress evaporates. So often at the workplace, you are surrounded with phone calls, with your laptop, with people asking questions, with you having to report, with your virtual meetings and all of that. So even if you do attend a training workshop, there will be distractions. Whereas in a team building program, you are at an offsite, you are at a location which is hundreds of kilometers from your office area. Perhaps you are in an area where you might not even have network connectivity. And therefore, your entire focus is on enjoyment. Your entire focus is on learning with fun. And that means that your stress levels will be at an all-time low when you are part of a team building workshop. I have never seen people in a team building workshop where they are upset or disappointed or their energy levels are low. In fact, the moment people attend a team building workshop, even if they have traveled long distances, they're physically not up to their agility might be a little low, but the energy levels are immediately back the moment you put you into a team building workshop where they have to do activities together. So stress gets released immediately, and the effects of that can be seen even back at work. But most importantly, and I think this is the basic reason why team building workshops are organized and must be organized, is that it encourages teamwork. Look, we are all human beings at the end of the day. So when we spend time together, when we laugh with each other, when we crack jokes at each other, when we question each other, and when we are able to reflect at our own actions during play, what it allows us to do is it opens our horizons. And therefore, people are able to reciprocate, people are able to connect, people are able to cooperate with each other. Of course, empathy always helps. So all of that means that teamwork within the team automatically goes up. And when I say teamwork, it is not just within the confines of a function or department. Often team building workshops could run into 50 or 100 people, which means you have all the departmental representatives attending that workshop, and therefore interdepartmental cooperation also goes up. People also tend to develop a sense of mutual respect. And that, I think, is a wonderful, wonderful thing to happen given any team building workshop. However, often where organizations actually go wrong is the manner in which they conduct these team building workshops. So several times organizations believe that only having fun is sufficient by itself. So although fun is a very important part, a critical part of a team building workshop, only having fun may not be adequate. Now, what do I mean by that? So along with the element of fun, you've got to make sure that there are deep insights which people receive. So as much as fun is possible and fun must be a part of your team building workshops, I have myself witnessed a lot of team building programs where participants are left in tears at the end of the day. Now, these are tears of happiness, these are tears of self-realization, and sometimes they also realize the mistakes that they've committed back at the workplace, or perhaps they might have unnecessarily hurt sentiments, and all that realization tends to make them understand that they went wrong sometimes and they need to overcome those deficiencies in their persona. So therefore, along with fun, one also needs to ensure that there are deep insights for each team building program that is conducted, which means the kind of activities that you do have to be of a certain pedigree. And at the same time, every activity has to be followed with a detailed debrief by the facilitator. And at the same time, you must also take into consideration what the participants think they have learned during the course of the entire day. So fun definitely is, entertainment, absolutely. But at the same time, insights, learning along with fun is an essential ingredient, just the right kind of masala that you require to make the team building workshop come alive. So here are the 5 reasons again why corporates or anyone for that matter, any institution needs to look at team building programs and how they can get the best out of it. Number 1, it helps you develop a sense of belongingness for each other and towards the organization as well. Number two, it helps you develop empathy towards each other. You're able to step into the shoes of the other person and look at things from a new perspective. Number three, it can sometimes resolve conflicts, and at times, even better, it can dissolve conflicts permanently if done the right way. Number four, it helps us release stress. And who would like to take back stress, right? So better you release it during a team building program. And number five, which I think the most important reason, it encourages teamwork. So when people are able to spend time with each other, laugh with each other, and spend quality interactions with each other, they take all of that back at the workplace and they apply that, which means you will see the camaraderie at the workplace. You will see workplaces getting new excitement, new surge of energy and enthusiasm. So the next time you plan a team building workshop, do remember all these things. And perhaps if you haven't thought of a team building workshop, it's not too late, right? So maybe that's an opportunity for you to relook at some of your priorities and what do you want to cover in your team building workshops. Maybe your team needs that outing that has been long overdue. So I hope you enjoy the next outing that you have with your team and gain all these benefits sooner than later. Thank you so much for listening.